Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us tmosso@the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Well, the Memovox dates back to 1950 in the annals of Jaeger-LeCoultre, and at this point, if you want to buy an iconic JLC, they say get yourself a Memovox alarm watch or a Reverso. And since the two have never been combined, at least not yet, you've got to choose. This is the latest Memovox. Master Memovox, as you see it here, launched 40 millimeters for the 2020 model year. You could see 40 millimeters in steel by 12.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 47.5 with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throwing it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. It wears nicely, low enough to fit under a cuff, undoubtedly. Fairly short across the wrist with nicely tapered lugs, a big improvement over the blockish vertical lugs JLC was so enamored of during the 2000s. And then from over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch, you can see it's still inboard of the edge of my wrist. The true angle is this one down the barrel, where you can see even pulling the strap tight, I've got plenty of clearance. So consider this viable on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. My wrist is 16. The strap, large rectangular scale alligator leather, matte finish. You can see these are fairly symmetrical scales. This is a good expensive cut of the beast. We have in profile a folded edge with a monotone stitch, sort of a navy blue with a matte finish, maybe a little bit of a semi-gloss to it, but it strikes me as more of a non-reflective matte. On the bottom calfskin, you can see the strap has been sized down once or twice, but it is in excellent condition. There's no crimping, no gouging on the top side, and we have pull tab spring bars, a relatively new addition by JLC that allows you to remove the strap without tools. We also have JLC's latest folding clasp. You can see this, steel like the watch, double deployant, friction fit, and then there's a little button you push to remove the clasp from the strap without tools. So strap off the watch without tools and then strap off the clasp without tools. You can swap without any tools. Satin finished mid-case, we have polished bezel, crown, and lug hoods. The lugs have a little expanding soft bevel on their flank as you move away from the case center. And there's a little bit of an inward set of the bezel with a vertical lip and then a conical profile to visually thin the watch. We have a slightly cambered sapphire here, and then we have two crowns, both brand signed. This one is used for winding the alarm, quick setting the date, and setting the alarm. This one is used for hacking the seconds and setting the time. You may as well wind this up and get it started. But the watch features a dial with a silver sunburst, and then you can see that we have applique dart style indices and that they are faceted and polished. We have tri-Arabic numerals at 12, 9, and 6. Half-brushed Dauphine hands, the half-brushed profile, allowing them to contrast better against the dial base, and then a blued counterweighted Lancet style seconds hand. We'll do a quick lume shot here because the watch is loomed, and it is important to note that even the index for setting the alarm is luminescent, which allows you to set it in the dark. Now, I'm not going to do this entirely in the dark because I want you to be able to see that, and this is still a relatively new addition at JLC, we do have a display case back on a Memovox. Here's the striker right here. There's actually a little floating gong that it hammers, so it's not simply beating against the case flank. So it doesn't sound like a cricket, it doesn't rattle, it rings. It's got a really nice note, lyrical quality, sustain, and enough volume that can definitely wake you up for your early flight. I always consider that to be obligatory on an alarm. If it can't wake you up, it fails. This passes with flying colors. Now, another thing I will mention is that the movement overall is good looking. There is some hand finishing here. This is JLC caliber 956 automatic winding 45-hour power reserve. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Taking a quick look at the dial, it's an easy detail to miss, but the date disc is actually printed in blue to match the seconds hand. Really lovely piece, more of an all-arounder than a dress watch. You can wear this for just about anything except hardcore swimming. Turning around, by the way, I do want to demonstrate that the watch has a hacking or stop seconds function, and then there is a quick set for the date, but it's executed using the alarm winding and alarm setting crown. On the reverse side, 50 meters water resistant. Probably surprises you a little bit. This is a dress style watch and aesthetic, but 50 meters means it's got solidly more than the the dress watch standard of 30 meters. On the reverse side, we have both polishing and a sort of media blast that's really handsome. The movement's a unidirectional winder with ceramic bearings, those two features making it very, very efficient at winding its 45-hour reserve. The 24-jewel movement features a free-sprung balance with a hairspring that's laser welded at the stud and the collet, a nice refinement. And then we have sunburst over the bearing. We have fire blued screws. We also have polished screws. This watch includes both of them. And we have stripes across the bridges. There's lovely solarization on this reduction wheel adjacent to the winding system at center. It's a good-looking movement that showcases JLC's judicious blend of hand finishing and machine finishing, which is par for its class and actually punches up a little bit against the likes of the Journes, the Mosers, and the APs of the world. This would look very much at home on their hardware. So all of this really good looking, and of course, the Master 1000 Hours Control, a standard that goes beyond the COSC's 5-position bare movement test. The Master 1000 Hours is a 6-position test of the fully cased-up watch. It also includes winding efficiency, power reserve, durability. Of course, chronometry is part of that, as is water resistance. So this has been a fully vetted and tested watch, and that's what this little Master 1000 Hours Control means. COSC is about 2 weeks. 1000 hours is about 41 days, just to give you a sense of scale. It is free sprung for durability against shock, and the balance can be adjusted with variable inertia masses on the balance rim, which allows it to take a very precise regulation. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.